I don't know, I might be too woke for this, but like Iran using black music, black caricatures, black idols, I like, yeah, we can be understanding and have cultural, understanding, but Iran trying to encourage black people to resist the US government right now to me just seems very guard dog ish. And also, as someone that studied networks, so like in my undergrad, my thesis was about networks and specifically social movements and global movements and how they move as networks. And what I figured out was that every social movement copied black resistance, whether that was theoretical, strategical, or aesthetically. And the reason that they're using black music, black symbols, black idols is to encourage the black people within the United States to resist our government. But we, as a collective, had decided we're not doing shit because we're not finna die for shit. We're done doing shit. I kind of just get annoyed with how the world sees black people as these free liberation dogs or some shit. These resistance dogs, these guard dogs. But when we need liberation or we need help or anything, they turn the cheek. Yeah, because there's a whole Afro-Iranian community in Iran, and I'm not even going to go into that. But that's what I just want to let y'all know that. Like, they turn the cheek when it comes to our liberation, but are begging us to come and resist our government. And it's like, I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan of it.
Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel, and I really appreciate you always coming back. Please don't forget to subscribe. An open letter from Iran to the American people is making waves. It paints Iran as a peaceful ancient civilization acting only in self-defense. But a US Navy veteran has stepped in with a powerful response. Tonight, we break down this clash of narrative versus war, diplomacy versus escalation.
24-hour warning watch.
I just spoke with President Trump for about 20 minutes, and he told me if Iran does not sign this deal, the whole country is getting blown up. He went on to say that bridges and power plants will be targeted if Iran does not sign this agreement.
Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. comes to an end. The craziest part is the president is not backing down, stating if there is no peace deal done by tomorrow, he is going to start bombing. I see a lot of hypocrites talking about this, how the U.S. military is weak because we cannot take out the country of Iran. Truth is, Donald Trump is being very lenient. He has not really attacked the country. But let's be honest, if he wanted to, he could really destroy it. The next 24 hours is going to be very important because this will either end World War III or escalate it. In my opinion, I do believe this is a big distraction because the financial reset's happening in real time and nobody's talking about it because everyone's eyeballs are on this situation. Share this information with as many people as possible. Let them know the truth.
Yesterday was Taco Tuesday, and Trump did chicken out and extended that ceasefire, but the problem is, apparently, Trump posting on Truth Social and running his mouth to the media caused a potential Iranian deal to fail. The Iranians were ready to take on a deal that they were negotiating with the US, but then Trump kept saying random stuff on social media and figuratively on social media and physically in person at press conferences. Now, Iran is already skeptical of the United States. They don't trust us because of our past. We've said ceasefires in the past, and then we go and bomb them anyway. So they're very like, we can't take y'all at your word because y'all are crazy. So Trump saying all this stuff that wasn't true made Iran say, hey, that's not what we agreed to. We didn't agree to any of your terms. We didn't agree to what your president just said. Now we don't trust you. Now we don't know if we actually have a deal or not because your president is saying one thing, but we're talking about another thing. You know what? We're out. We're not in this deal. And that's what happened. Like, you can't make this up. So because Trump couldn't just simply be diplomatic and stop talking about these deals, Iran pulled out of a potential deal that they were going to accept. This is kind of getting crazy. Y'all have a good day.
Have no idea what they just triggered, do you? Or what events have occurred over a 24-hour period. Let me fill you in on how serious this is, okay? Keep in mind, this is occurring right before Trump is set to read a very specific set of Bible verses, okay? Anyways, I summarized everything that happened over the course of that 24-hour period. So let's start with the fact that the U.S. military blasted out nearly 100 emergency action messages on its global high-frequency radio network. These are the encrypted orders sent to nuclear submarines, strategic bombers, and missile launch crews. On a normal day, you get about 10. Let me make this clear, okay? The Pentagon has issued zero public statement. An E-6B Mercury, okay? Doomsday plane, by the way, is still flying over the Atlantic Ocean right now. It was dropping one emergency action message every 30 minutes. Officials said that it may continue all night. The E-6B is the exact plane built to command the nuclear triad after the White House is destroyed. If you didn't know, Offutt Air Force Base talks to every nuclear-capable platform on Earth that's using the HFGCS network. EAMs relay National Command Authority directives, including launch orders, okay? Now think about this. A normal elevator day is 30 to 60 EAMs. They just ran nearly 124 hours. Last time EAM traffic spiked this hard was during active Iran-Israel reciprocal strikes in June of 2025. The E-6B, might I mention, has not been routinely deployed over the Atlantic. It is typically a domestic strategic signal aircraft. This is really routine. Why are they running it at 100 messages per 24 hours? If this was a drill, why is it most likely still running it while you're watching this video? Just saying, on the 21st, astrologically and ironically, the same exact day of which he is due to read these fucking verses, some shit is supposed to take off.
Iran's letter began by reminding the world of its long history as an ancient civilization. It insists that Iran is not a global threat, but a nation forced into self-defense. According to the letter, the image of Iran as a dangerous is a manufactured narrative, one designed to justify foreign military expansion and protect the profits of the arms industry. In short, Iran adds that fear of its people is being sold to the world for political and economic gain. But then comes the voice of a U.S. Navy veteran. He pushes back against those who glamorize conflict online, reminding us that war is not entertainment. He explained the legal history behind Iranian assets frozen by the United States, showing that these disputes are rooted in decades of complex diplomacy. Most importantly, he speaks about the heavy psychological toll of war, how it scars soldiers' family and communities. His message is clear. Diplomatic settlements may be slow, but military escalation is far more dangerous.
So people living in the United States are now starting to feel the effects of the war in Iran, and I'm here to explain to you how. So we saw Donald Trump over Easter weekend make a pretty belligerent post on social media telling Iran to open the strait or face consequences. I will explain what the strait is in just a second. He was threatening to bomb civilian infrastructure if they don't reopen it, which, by the way, I told y'all this was going to happen. Back in June of 2025, I said Iran will likely move to close the Strait of Hormuz. Actually, go ahead and run the clip.
Iran could block or disrupt the Strait of Hormuz. This is where 20% of global oil passes.
Now let's actually talk about what this means, because a lot of Americans are confused, and this is bigger than people realize. First, what even is the Strait of Hormuz? It is a narrow waterway between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula, and it's one of the most important choke points in the world. And a choke point is essentially a narrow route that a huge amount of global trade has to pass through. So if one country like Iran controls it, they can slow it down, restrict it, or shut it off completely, and that gives them leverage over the entire global economy. About 20% of the world's oil supply passes through that one strip of water. So when Iran threatens or actually moves to close it, they're not just making a regional decision, they're affecting the globe. Okay. Now we're going to talk about why Iran would do this. So from their perspective, this is leverage. Okay. Iran has been dealing with heavy U.S. sanctions, military pressure, ongoing regional tension for years. So closing or even threatening to close the strait is a way of saying, okay, if you want to economically strangle us, I'm going to economically strangle everybody, okay? So now let's talk about why Donald Trump is reacting the way that he is, because this hits the U.S. where it actually hurts. Oil prices go up, gas prices go up, shipping costs go up, inflation goes up. And here's the part that people aren't connecting. Trump literally
campaigned on lowering the prices of everything, especially gas. That was one of his biggest selling points. But now his decision to escalate both a physical and economic conflict with Iran is doing the exact opposite. It's driving the prices up. So even if the United States, which I'm hearing this a lot, oh, the United States doesn't even get most of its oil directly from that region anymore, the global market still does. We are a part of that market. Oil is priced globally. So if the supply gets disrupted anywhere in the world, not even our direct supply, prices go up everywhere, because countries that do get it from the Strait of Hormuz, they rely on that region. They start competing for other sources, and that drives the prices up across the board, including here. So when he's saying open the strait, he's not just being dramatic. He's reacting to the fact that this move can destabilize the global energy markets fast. And this is also a part of a larger pattern of economic warfare, not just bombs, not just troops, but sanctions, trade restrictions, and control over resources. So when people ask, why would Iran do this? The better question really is, when a country is pushed economically and politically for years, how do things escalate? Global conflicts escalate, and it's not always with immediate war. Sometimes it's pressure points like this. And if this continues, you are going to feel it at the gas pump, at the grocery store, in everyday prices. This is what global politics actually looks like. Not just speeches, not just elections and voting and decisions. This will ripple into your daily life.
So here we have two narratives: Iran's plea for peace and self-defense, and a veteran's warning about the real cost of war. Different perspectives, but both point to the same truth: unchecked conflict destroys more than its defense. And in that shared warning, we find the rare moment of agreement. So the question remains: is Iran's letter a genuine plea for peace or a strategic move in global politics? And does the veteran's testimony remind us of human cost we often forget? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the story shaping our world.